Hey, Scorpio. Thanks for joining me for your May reading. I'm Madeline, just in case we haven't met before. And before we pull your cards and get into the story of your month, Spirit already has a message for you, which is there is like an opportunity or an option or some support or help this month that is available that you really want to have your eyes open for because it feels kind of like you could miss it. And Spirit was showing me that in various ways. It's like for some Scorpios, it could be kind of I haven't pulled any cards yet. Could be kind of a Five of Cups situation where it's like I'm looking at the three empty cups instead of the two standing cups, where it's like, oops, I didn't even realize that this was still standing in my life because I was kind of focused on what wasn't working. Or for other people, it could just be like the gift or the option is so subtle, or the opportunity is something that you kind of maybe take for granted, like, oh yeah, of course I'm good at that skill, but I don't know how much money there is in that for me. Spirit is like, you might want to look. You might want to really consider, what are my gifts, talents, skills, opportunities, and also your support system, because that was the other form that Spirit was saying it could take, where it's like if you do need a little help in whatever realm, the help that you need is available for you, but you will have to kind of keep your eyes up and look out for it, as opposed to maybe resigning yourself to doing without it. Fixed sign things. I'm a Scorpio stellium, so don't come for me, okay? I'm not speaking from a high horse. This is just what Spirit wants you to know. I'm an intuitive reader. So I work in a mediumistic way where Spirit speaks to me and kind of lays over their message on top of what the cards say. So without further ado, let's get into those cards, shall we? We're going to look at the kind of lay of the land for you this month, and also pull a persona card for you to see how you are showing up, which of your kind of what vibe you're giving off, and what gifts you want to step into purposefully to have the best month possible. So, Spirit, please share with us what Scorpio people need to know in the month of May for their highest good. Spirit, we always want to know the truth. Good, bad, easy, hard. We know that the truth is always for our highest good and helps us know how to move. So, Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know in the month of May? Any elements about the recent past that pertain to the present, and give us a peek at their unfolding future, Spirit. What does Scorpio people... Oh, no. Oh, no. That's what I get for living in the city. Thank you. What does Scorpio need to know, Spirit, to step into the future that is most joyful, fulfilling, passionate, abundant, secure? What do they need to know for their highest good in the month of May? What is showing up for them? And what do they need to know in order to use it or navigate it for their highest good? Oh, have y'all met Derpy? This is Derpy. Okay. Wow. You got a lot of cards here, Scorpio. Spirit's got some things to say. Thank you, Spirit. Well, listen, Spirit don't lie. Five of Cups sitting in the past. So listen, if we have to see it, we're glad to see it sitting in the past. But that just speaks to the fact that Spirit always knows what they're talking about. So it's kind of like, it's nice to have cards, but if you're in communication with Spirit, you don't even really need the cards. Beautiful. Beautiful. I see you moving on in a wonderful, healthy way from that Five of Cups place. So I see many of you will keep your eyes open. Love it. Yes. Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to get creative with the placement of these cards. But wow, Scorpio, the growth opportunities are off the charts. There are some, you need to do a little mixing and matching. That's what I'm hearing exactly as I look at your guidance card, which is Temperance. Spirit's like, mix and match, move things around. That is tied to your future card, the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Tons and tons and tons of fertility and opportunity here. So, Five of Cups, sitting in the past. No blame, no shame, no judgment if you find yourself, Scorpio, whether when you're listening to this reading or at any point this month, that you find yourself maybe in the doldrums or maybe focusing on the darkness, quote unquote, right? Scorpionic things and also fixed sign things. We can kind of, speaking as a very fixed person, we can get kind of stuck on stuff. We can obsess to our detriment, and we can lose sight of certain other things that are available to us, beautiful, ready for us. Spirit is using the phrase made for us. So I see enormous growth. Sitting in the key position appropriately across from the Five of Cups, we have the Death card. So something has ended very definitively. This isn't the Tower. This is a natural death. This is closing a door behind you. Now, even when it's not a Tower moment, we have to grieve when things end as human beings, even when we're happy that they end. And that's what kind of, Spirit is showing me a gamut of things. It's like sometimes we cry because we're moving into our dream home, but we're leaving, the little tiny apartment that we built a life in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it doesn't mean that we necessarily want that old apartment or that old partner or whatever, but we do have to grieve. We mourn. It's a change, and there's an adjustment to be made when things end. So give yourself space. Let yourself cry or sweat. That's what Spirit is showing me. Is for some of you, it's like, I don't necessarily need to cry. I need to go pound some pavement with my feet, sweat, listen to loud music, and that's a purge of its own. That's a release of its own. So in whatever way you need to release, take care of yourself. And please know, if you look closer at that Five of Cups card sitting in the background, of course we have the two upstanding cups. They're focused on these three that are right in front of them, right? They're focused on what is upside down, what is poured out, what's empty. But behind them, there are these two fresh, beautiful cups and all these growing grapes. These fat, juicy, delicious grapes that will turn into wine given time. And that's what Spirit is saying. So, grieve what you need to grieve and be aware there are beautiful things ahead for you, not the least of which is the world. This death and this Five of Cups grieving, this outpouring, it wasn't for nothing. The world is graduation, the world is understanding, and the world is completion. So the Death card and the World card speak heavy to the closing of an old cycle, which of course always leads to the beginning of a new one. You're adjusting. Spirit is using the phrase, to your new place in the world. You've got a couple of sevens sitting in your future. Seven of Wands, clarified. Hello. Seven of Wands, clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, then the Two of Pentacles, then the Eight of Pentacles. So, a small adjustment can create a huge growth in your money, in your skills, and Spirit is saying in your confidence in yourself. Now, this is a phrase you're not going to hear me say a lot on this channel. Prepare yourself. The Justice card is sitting in the energy around and available to you. So I want to tell you to be a little bit by the books this month. Okay? Justice is about contracts, negotiations, balanced choices, and important decisions. Again, you got the World card, the Death card, the Justice card, the Temperance card. That's a lot of major arcana. That's almost half major arcana. So this is destiny stuff. This is fate stuff. This is choices that will reverberate throughout your life stuff. So let's talk about your persona card. I encourage you to approach all decisions that you make this month from a Queen of Wands type of stance. So you could have come through as a page, a knight, a queen, or a king, right? No station is above the other. It's more about what approach is going to serve you this month and how you are stepping forward this month. I always ask Spirit to show me how can they step forward in the most positive way to bring them everything that they want in the future, that fulfillment, peace, security, ease, etc. Be the leader that you are. You are a natural, okay? And Queen and King have nothing to do with sex and gender and everything to do with kind of the focus of the person and their personality type. A Queen of Wands is focused on their creativity, their community, their magic, their inner world, and their inner circle. You're making magic this month. You're sitting there with your black cat. People look to you. They trust you. Spirit is using the phrase like, you radiate integrity. And integrity, I'm going to tie right to that Justice card where Spirit, like I said, I'm not going to say it a lot, but I'm going to say to you, go by the book. Make sure that you're operating within the bounds of the law. Make sure that you're dotting fucking, I was going to say dotting T's and crossing I's. I can't cross my I's. Fun fact, I could try, but no. Make sure that you're dotting I's and crossing T's. Make sure that you're looking at the footnotes. Make sure that you're reading all the fine print and you're considering all of the unspoken fine print, is something that Spirit is saying as you make this decision. Justice speaks to a balance of head and heart, justice and mercy, compassion, and its counterweight, accountability. Like, yes, I have compassion for you, but also, are they being accountable for their own actions? Things to consider, and also, of course, that could apply to you. Are you willing to be accountable for your actions? Because if not, don't take them actions. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious if any of you have Leo placements, because it's kind of tying into what they were saying to Leo earlier. Okay. Adjustments. Take what you have learned from this graduation, this world card, whatever this ending and this death was, and what you've learned from it, and as you step into this new open door, because of course when we close a door, another one opens, and we step through with courage, Queen of Wands. Seven of Wands implies there is something that you want and that you are willing to go up against heavy opposition, or maybe just there's a lot of competition for this thing that you want. And Seven of Wands would say that you have what it takes. You do have what it takes. It is fairly massive opposition, or it is a fairly challenging obstacle or achievement that you are looking to get. You have what it takes. I mean, who has what it takes but the Queen of Wands? This person, I love this version of the card where this person is running toward this kind of barricade, and it's like, nah, I'm going to break all six of those wands down just using my one, because I have the power, the passion, the drive. And so that's you, Queen of Wands. You know your creativity, you know your talents, you know your skills. The Queen of Wands, when she is at her best, is a person with a lot of natural self-confidence and self-possession. And that sounds quite scorpionic to me. So that's you when you are at your best. You know yourself. When you step into the room, people notice because you have this gravity about you, this gravitas. Trust yourself. You have what it takes. You've learned what you needed to learn from that death moment. And as all good Scorpios do, you alchemize. That you are the sign of transformation. You are the sign of death and rebirth. So if anybody can handle a death and be reborn and be more powerful, Phoenix Fire is you, Queen of Wands, Phoenix Fire, okay? So don't hold back. Don't question whether you have what it takes. Seven of Pentacles just says consider your strategy. Consider how you are budgeting your resources, which include your energy levels. Like, oh, I've been putting a lot of energy into this thing over here, but it hasn't really been having the returns I want. What if I moved this energy over to this project or to this aspect of my life or whatever? Maybe, for example, you've been putting a whole lot of energy into like finding love or whatever, but it's like, it's not really turning out the way that you want to, or maybe it's even like a drag. You know what I mean? So I don't know how y'all on the apps do it. I cannot imagine. So if you are maybe in that place, it's like, you know what? Maybe all of this energy that I've been putting in and haven't been getting back, I can put over here in like my physical health or my nutrition or my work or my creativity, right? And I'm going to move this energy, siphon it over to this, and there could be a massive return on your investment. So consider that, please, deeply. Seven of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. The result is blossoming. And it's this feeling of like, wow, I'm really getting it. I'm really good at this. That's what Spirit is saying, is like, oh, damn, I think I'm really good at this. I think I'm getting better at this. You are. And it's little by little. It's small adjustments. Two of Pentacles, and then, of course, temperance, moderation. Scorpio, we have a tendency to be all or nothing, black or white, you know, like it's this or it's that, and it's nothing in between. Well, your cards this month are saying there is actually an in-between, and there is actually potentially a compromise. Temperance, she has one white wing and one black wing. She wears the yin-yang symbol. She represents not just the black and the white, but the gray in between. We don't want to go for intensity, you know, and now Spirit is using the phrase consistency over intensity. So if we were trying to grow a garden, if we were trying to grow our money, that's our garden, okay? If we're trying to grow a garden, we don't want to do the what would be considered the classically scorpionic approach, which would be like, go out there one day and just do hours and hours and hours and hours of work, and then we're done. No. It's every morning I'll put in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. And if I keep showing up every morning, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, 30 minutes, I'm going to get where I'm trying to get. The growth that I want, the fruit that I want, will come from me tending to these roots, to the fundamentals, to the basics, to my skills, to my health, to my time, pentacles things, practical, pragmatic, tangible things. Temperance is telling you no extremes in any realm of your life, and it is also a reminder to like drink enough water, get enough sleep. When I say back to the basics and the fundamentals, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is like if in these really important tangible realms I find myself in balance, then growth becomes extremely not just possible but assured. Six of Swords is sitting in the position of your hopes and fears. So there's a desire to move on, and there's also a little bit of fear around moving on, and that's okay and that's normal. And it actually makes a great deal of sense for Scorpio people, because it's like, we got where we want to because we wanted to be there. We didn't just change our mind, we don't just go on a whim. But you have clearly learned what you needed to learn. The sixes always move on from the fives. So moving on from this Five of Cups with Six Swords, saying, I learned all the lessons that I needed to. I don't need to keep the wounds, so I can pull the swords, the hurt, out of my body. I can process it. I can transform it into lessons, into understanding, into clarity, into a North Star. Like, wow, that really fucking sucked, but I learned this thing about myself that is always and eternally true, and I can use that as a North Star for myself as I move forward, and that's what I'm hearing. So, make your wounds worth it. That's really weird, but that's what Spirit just said. Make your wounds worth it. And that's how. Process them traumas. Process them hurts. Give them compassion and tenderness until they bloom, blossom, until they, under your tender care, transform into something entirely new. A lot of power here, Scorpio. How's this sitting on you? How does it feel? I hope that this is really helpful. If you've got questions, if you've got stories, reflections, comments, please, please share them. I love to hear them, and it is super helpful for my itty bitty widow channel. If you wouldn't mind throwing a gal a like or a dislike, listen, tell the truth. I would deeply appreciate it. And if you vibed, go ahead and subscribe. This shit is free. It's great. Thanks for being here, Scorpio. I really do deeply appreciate your time and attention, and I hope that they pay dividends to you this month. It looks like they will. Much love, many blessings to you, Scorpio, and if I don't see you before then I hope I will see you in your mid-month reading. Bye-bye.